Street, Unit 1. You go to Main Street, 123, Unit 1, and you locate Phipps. It's an extra way, an additional way to give you the opportunity to look for voters who may have unusually spelled names. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Do you think it's a good idea?
No.
Who said it? You didn't like my idea? You didn't like my idea? Don't play with me. All right, that was my idea. Yes, sir. You know what? Daniel said, can you ask the person to spell their name? The answer is yes. Most of the time, however, Daniel, you get a crowd of people. And for some odd reason, judges who have been serving the longest, like for the last 727 years, always want to sit at duty station 1. Meaning that when voters come in, you can spell it 6,001 times. They're not going to get it right. Okay. All right? I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but if you get in a situation like that, Daniel, tell that person to move over and you take the spot. Because that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to make sure that we move the voters as quickly as possible. And for some odd reason, they take ownership in that seat. I don't know what it is about that first seat, but sometimes people just want to take ownership on it. So it'll help you out a little more. Okay? And it was my idea, so I changed it around. I don't care if you like it or not. At Station 3. The equipment is at Station 3. And in the past, the equipment manager has been told that they sit at Station 2. Well, since the equipment is at Station 3, we decided to move the equipment manager to Station 3. So the equipment manager is now at Station 3. The equipment manager is now at Station 3. The equipment manager is now at Station 3. You like that one? Huh? Yeah, that was my idea too. Okay. Backup judge pool. In the past, what we've said to you is, like, let's say, for instance, you arrive at the polling place, and according to your list, there's supposed to be 5 judges. You get there are 2 people there, both of you are new. Don't panic. What we want you to do, what we want you to do is to call the election department and say, this is Carol Harwell, I'm at precinct 21, I need help. Now, in the past, what we simply tell you to do is to pick up the phone and call a relative, a neighbor, or a friend and tell them to come on and serve as an election judge. Well, you spend half the day telling them what to do. So what we're doing this year is we're attempting to try to train for you election judges, so that if you're short judges, you simply call us and we'll send you one of those backup judges. So all you have to do is call the election judge unit. That number is on the front inside cover of your election judge manual. Okay? And the last one is one that's most interesting to most people. You can close your checklist now. But it says Senate race. Did you realize that Roland Burris was appointed to Barack Obama's seat and it ends November the 3rd? Did anybody know that? Yes. You did? Yeah. Well, that means that we now have to elect a senator to fill the remaining seat of Barack Obama from November the 3rd to January the 3rd. It's called a special election. Therefore, when voters come to vote, they're going to see the Senate race on the ballot twice. Voters get the opportunity to select someone to complete the remaining seat of Barack Obama from November the 3rd to January the 3rd, and then we will elect a senator from January 3rd for the next 6 years. Is everybody clear? The full term, the 6-year term, will appear first on the ballot and then the special election. So, for this election, voters will see the Senate race on the ballot twice. Voters will see the Senate ballot on the Senate race on the ballot twice. Voters will see the Senate race on the ballot twice. Now, voters are going to mention that because we've noticed that during early voting, they've said to us, "Are you stupid? It's already on there." Can voters mix and match those votes? The answer is yes. They can vote one party, or they can vote for one term and one for the other. So voters can do as they choose, but it will appear on the ballot twice. Yes.
Will it say that? Will the instructions say
yes.
Oh, well, so
Roberta's question is will the ballot indicate that they're voting twice? The answer is yes. The first one will say for full term, and the second will say for the special election. It doesn't get into great detail, but it does say that. Do I have any other questions about anything I've talked about thus far that is inside of the checklist? Okay? Well, then let's move on. I've talked to you about supply judges. That's one type of a judge. Another type of a judge is called an equipment manager. What is an equipment manager? Well, an equipment manager, first of all, is not the boss judge. They are an election judge just like you, and they sit at Station 3 on election day. What's the difference in an equipment manager and another election judge? They take more training. In the past, when you've had trouble with your equipment, you called us. There are a handful of us out there, and it may have taken us an hour and a half to get there to unstick a card that would have taken 5 minutes to fix. So what we've done is we've trained one judge per precinct to be able to handle small details like that. So the equipment manager should be able to change your tape, unstick cards. They know codes that you don't know. Again, they sit at duty station 3 on election day. They go with the supply judge before election day and set up the equipment. After the polls have closed on election day, it is the responsibility of the equipment manager to consolidate, to transmit, and to print your tapes. Then the equipment manager, along with another judge, will go to the receiving station at the end of the night to take back your supplies. Do I have any questions about a supply judge or an equipment manager? The last type of a judge I want to talk to you about is called a student judge. High school students that are 16 years or older with at least a 3.0 grade point average and have the permission of both their parents as well as the principal can now serve as election judges in the state of Illinois. As you see, they take the same training that you do and they get paid the same thing that you do, meaning that they are part of the team. They are not above and beyond the 5, they are part of the 5. They are to be treated with respect, and they are to be, whenever you're making decisions, they are to be included as well as tasked at hand, okay? They're not there to run the Walgreens and go get your prescription filled, or go walk the dog, or go get your clothes out the cleaners. They're there because they have fresh minds and fresh legs. Everybody we've ever had that work with the student judges applaud them. They like them, and they want them to come back. On the other hand, high school students, we've got people, the pay is not that great here, but continually come back year after year after year. They come back because it's the community and civic thing to do. Therefore, I expect you to show the same respect to them that I've asked them to show to you. Is everybody clear on that? We're a team, and we're going to work together, and we're going to have fun. Okay? Any questions of anything I've said thus far? Okay? Let's talk about the election judge equipment. In Cook County, voters have a choice. They can vote on 2 separate types of equipment. For voters who choose to vote on a paper ballot, they will place their paper ballots inside of this piece of equipment. This piece of equipment is called an optical scanner. Okay? So paper ballots are placed inside of optical scanners. Do I have any questions so far about what I've said about the optical scanner? The second choice that voters have is they get to vote on an electronic piece of equipment that looks like this. It's called a touch screen. We call it a touch screen because voters simply touch their choices. So this is a touch screen optical scanner. For all voters who are going to vote on the touch screen, they have to have what we call a voter card. On election day, in your supplies, you will find 8 to 10 cards that look like this. Credit cards, they kind of look like this. And we call them voter cards. You activate a voter's card for each time. Now you got to recycle them so you make sure that you get them back because they deactivate after the voter has voted. These are called voter cards, and you use this piece of equipment here, which is called a card activator, during the day to activate that voter's card. We'll show you when you go into your breakouts how to activate a voter's card. After the polls have closed, you're going to remove the memory pack from behind the scanner, and you're going to take the cartridges out of the touch screens. You're going to put the memory pack in here, and you're going to put the cartridges in here. You're going to then add up all of the totals of all of the equipment that you received. That's called consolidation. So you add up the memory pack and all of the sticks. That's called consolidation. After you've done that, you're going to raise the antenna on the card activator, and you're going to transmit